evening, guys, and welcome to a beautiful part of North Wales and my in-laws' kitchen for tonight's episode of the APAT show. Leigh, I'm in North Wales. I feel at one with you.
I heard last time you were seen, there was a screech of tyres as you were leaving the country with 100 GGPoker t-shirts in the boot of your car. That's what I heard.
Leigh, we said we wouldn't talk about that tonight. That's just going to be awkward for everyone concerned. But now that the cat's out of the bag, $4.99. I will be giving you the website URL very, very shortly. Multiple sizes available, providing you all want a medium.
Sounds reasonable. Can't go far, Rob. But anyway, enough of t-shirts. We have a guest on, Des, and we have a guest making a debut on the show as well.
Fantastic.
How about that? The one, the only, our own Tony G. Good evening, Tony. How you doing?
I'm good. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Oh, good to see you on, Mr. G. But Leigh, I've got to say, when you told me we had Tony G on the show, I was expecting poker royalty. I was expecting the original poker brat. Who is this guy? Do we know him? I mean, this isn't Tony G, surely.
This is the only Tony G that matters in APAT circles, as far as we're concerned. That is for sure, and a big QPR fan as well.
So I believe.
And we've got a hell of a lot we can talk about there about exactly what's gone on with QPR's season this year, from the highs of the early couple of months to well, I suppose the high of beating the champions the other week, but and everything that went on in between. Yeah,
I promise it's not a coincidence. I waited until we were up before.
yeah.
Staying up, obviously, not going up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You just got to get it quietly, right? You've got to get it quietly. So, Leigh, look, what are the guys playing tonight? What are we going to be focusing on tonight for the stream?
Well, Tony's had a similar sort of time on GG that I've had, and we've pretty much bricked just about everything. We had a bit of a run earlier on. We'll talk about it in more detail because we watched Chris Bean spin up his $15 ticket from Thursday night right into tonight's Vegas final on GGPoker with 15 packages guaranteed. Unfortunately, he's fallen a little bit short. He has, however, registered into the 54th annual WSOP celebration Sati, which is the $54 one I talked about last week, which has got 2 packages guaranteed. I'm also in that as well. So I've got or did have Chris's table up. He might have moved tables, actually, so I'll see if I can track him down again now in a second. Also on the table I've got up is this player at the bottom here, Original Eddie, from the UK. I've seen him play over the weekend a little bit, playing a number of the Vegas stats. Don't know whether it's whether it's an Eddie that we know or it's a different Eddie, as he's just vanished from that table. But let me try and let me bring up my table for a second, and I will go and track down Chris's table again and bring that back up on there as well. But a long way to go in this one. Still late reg on this one for another 27 minutes if you want to get involved. I'm starting to recognise lots of players that seem to play these Vegas Sats, Des. They're you can see lots of the regular players. This is Chris's table back up again. So he's been a UK. Had a cracking run, Des. So spun his $15 up into the 140 satellite, then won his 140 satellite, which is the most insane satellite I think I've ever witnessed, because I was railing him on that one. I'll explain to you a few little details on that in a second. But then then spun that 140 up into the 1175. Was playing for the final one today. So not to be, but he's jumped into this $54 one. So the $140 sat, 60 seats guaranteed into the big one. They were 64 players left, Des.
Yeah.
Average stack was 3.3 bigs.
Wow. What?
Yeah, you've never seen anything like it in your life. You have never seen it. Didn't go hand for hand until it got to 62. And at one point, I thought Chris was chip leader at one point in that satellite, and I thought he was going to miss out because the way the blinds were going round and everyone was time banking everything else. I just thought this is going to fall really unfortunate for him. I watched a player from the UK had 0.2 of a big blind, got it all in with pocket kings, saved himself, and actually went on to win a ticket into the big one tonight. So everybody just clings on. So the one point where they were on the bubble, 61 players left, and Chris had I think I posted it up in the Facebook group, something like 2.2 bigs or something like that.
Right.
And you're thinking, shit, this is trouble, isn't it? Then you see that half the field had less stack of chips than Chris did. on the ball. It was the most ridiculous satellite I've ever witnessed. But I'm sure it must be a similar thing that happens on a regular basis with these Vegas packages, because the number that they're guaranteeing is just it's just absolutely crazy. So so we'll keep an eye on this. As I say, Chris has got a lot more chips than I have. That's for sure. I'm down to about 12 bigs at the moment. So Tony, what were you playing on GG today? What sort of stuff do you get involved with, or what were you giving a go?
All the low stakes stuff, really. Is it their World Festival, Global Festival?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, is that right?
But there's some stuff over the weekend, isn't there, that's already started? Yeah. So
and a lot of satellites are trying to get into the bigger ones. I'm a low stakes player, really.
Oh,
so
guys,
I've
got to stop you because we have breaking news. We don't often get the opportunity to put out breaking news, but I'm going to assume that the Oracle would not let us down. He's just put there's been a 147 in the snooker. So
in the final.
Well, it's just going on right now, right? So
wow.
I would imagine there's just been a 147. You'd have had to said presumably for Breakall, given the way it had been going early on, but I don't know that there's ever been a 147 in the world final. So that is pretty spectacular sporting breaking news. If that is the case.
That is.
Sorry, Tony.
That's pretty insane, though. That is pretty insane. I don't think there has been one in the actual final itself, is there? That's ridiculous. It was Selby that got it.
Selby, yeah. So
wow.
Rich Baker there as well. So that's incredible. Only slightly frustration because I've literally just walked away from the show, from watching it. But hey, detail, right?
But there's been a few 147s this year, isn't there? I saw one the other day.
There was, Karen Wilson had one in an earlier round, but to get one in the final under a ton of pressure. And I don't think Selby had been playing particularly well. So, wow. Really
Tristan has kind of called you out there, really, because to be honest, it's obviously Des can call it well played, Selby. You had a 50-50 there, Des, on which word of it was, and you managed to get it wrong.
Well,
that's quite impressive.
I have been travelling today, so having arrived back from Llandudno earlier on, I did watch 2 or 3 frames, and while Selby is coming back, it doesn't necessarily look like the Selby of old. It's been a grind more than anything else. So to have knocked in a 147, it'll be interesting to see whether that gives him a boost from a confidence point of view, or whether in fact that becomes, just a big thing and it becomes a bit of a distraction. We will see. But Simon is saying he started to wake up, which is good to see. It is the second this year. Selby is in fact fighting back. So let's see how that one. Runs on. I have to say, for me, the Monday evening session, so the final session of the World Snooker Championship, is an annual must-do, right? So no matter who's playing, no matter sort of what score is, if you hit that final session, you just got to, if you've had any interest in snooker over the years, you've got to sit down and watch that one. So I'm quite looking forward to that tomorrow.
That's fair enough.
Second this champs, the 14th ever. So I think he would become either the 9th or 10th player to score a 147 at the World Championships. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So sorry, Tony, stole a little bit of your thunder there, my friend. Leigh, how do we get Tony back in discussion? Were we talking about what event he was playing tonight?
Well, yeah, we're just talking about obviously trying to spin up some of the satellites into the World Festival, I guess, which is obviously starting. There's a long way to go with it, Tony, isn't there? Is it sort of 6 weeks worth, I think, isn't it, of comps?
It looks like it's their equivalent of like PokerStars Scoop kind of thing.
Yeah. How often do you play? Obviously you're new to the show, so maybe we should start actually really with kind of how did you get into poker? What's your backstory on that?
Yeah, well, I used to play a lot during my university years, so sort of 2008, 2012, and then when I started working, I kind of stopped playing. But I was a part of, I don't know if you remember Black Belt Poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've started sort of playing with that. So that's how I met Tristan, really. So when I started working, I stopped playing as much, and Actually, I was watching the stream a couple of weeks ago, and you had Dan Williams on, and you were talking about why is there a poker boom, and I'm the perfect example of during lockdown I started playing again, like a lot, started studying again, and then that's when I discovered APAT on the weekly leaderboard ladders. So predominantly I play online. Surprised you asked me on, actually, because my record in the APATs, I'm 0 for 4 in cashes live. So,
oh dear.
I think it was my weekly wins, the odd ones last year and the year before, that got me the call up.
Oh, yeah, with us now. You are with us. That is the main
Chris is Chris Beans in the chat saying, "Hide your cards, Leigh." It's all right. I don't think anybody on my table is going to care. That's why I'm showing my cards, Chris, because I'm pretty confident that nobody on my table is going to be watching this stream. So I thought, well, I'll leave them off. So that's the only reason I've done that. And so you can watch me destroy my remaining 9 bigs that I've got in this tournament quite easy. But to be honest, Tony, 0 for 4 in APATs is, I mean, trust me, there are people that are 0 for a lot more than 4 in an APAT. That's for sure.
Well, I'll look to increase the number over the next coming months as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So predominantly you play online, but obviously looking to play more live this year. Have you got plans? Anything you're looking forward to APAT wise or further afield?
Yeah, so I played the 2 events I played were London this year and London last year. So I'm based in Croydon, so
yeah,
fairly easy for me to get to. I had a look at the schedule. Yeah, so I'm going to go to at least one of either the Nottingham or Coventry.
Yeah, okay.
Or at least
Nottingham.
Yeah,
Nottingham is a must. In APAT terms, it's a coming of age thing. If you come to the World Championships, and I think the UK Championships are going to have a good sense of it as well, but just to have so many mixed games players, the general atmosphere around those, whether you're there for 2 days or 4 days or 6 days, the general atmosphere is very special, in my humble opinion. So if you had a bucket list of APAT events, it would be Dusk Till Dawn, APAT for a major sort of championships. And hopefully you won't go the way of Chris Hibbert, my fellow Liverpool fan, who says he's 0 in cashes for 128 APATs. He couldn't be serious. Chris.
It's a possibility. It is a possibility.
Not thinking more about the 128 APATs. That's super impressive.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think whether we've done 120. Actually, we're probably up around that sort of over that number. I would have.
Chris has definitely been to a lot of them. That's for sure. I do recall the pained expression. To be honest, the pained expression was probably somewhat similar in the 93rd minute of Liverpool's game against Spurs today. But pleasingly, by the 94th, Chris had achieved his first APAT cash.
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, that result caused Klopp to pull his hamstring, but other than that, it was all good.
Didn't see it, Leigh. Yeah. Didn't see it at all. I was in the car. Well, actually.
Oh, have you not seen? Have you not heard what happened?
Let me share that. Oh, I have heard what's happened, but let me share the story with you. So we were coming back from sort of an outer part of North Wales, and we're in the car. So I knew I wasn't going to see the game, wasn't a problem, but we're listening to it on the radio. And we're having to switch between DAB and medium wave, right? Because you go between the mountains, you lose the DAB, right? You get a bit of medium wave, but it's a bit like listening to 2 commentators in an echo chamber who are about 20 miles away from the action. It's not easy to follow. So we managed to follow it. Liverpool go 3-0 up fairly quickly. As you know, Spurs get one back before half-time. We arrive here with probably about 20 minutes of the game left, at which point, I'm going to continue to listen to it on the radio. So I get it up on my phone app, lie on the bed, and immediately fall asleep. Liverpool 3-1. I fall asleep. I'm asleep in this. Sean comes into me. It's about 7 o'clock, right? So I've been asleep. I must have been asleep for an hour. Sean comes in. She said, how did the game finish? I said, Sean, I haven't a clue. 3-1 up, so don't worry, it's all fine. I haven't a clue. Then go onto the score app. I see it's 4-3. Really? How did that become 4-3? So I look at the order of the goals, the 93rd and the 94th minute. Can't believe I missed it. But hey, there you go.
Yeah. No,
Riveting.
it was lively to say the least. It got a bit feisty at the end, to be honest. I was actually quite glad Spurs equalised, because it was a little bit cheeky what they did, is because they spotted that one of the Ben Davies had some blood from, I think it was a little bit of a kind of something going on at the free kick before, which is the one they scored from. So Henderson pointed it out to the referee, which meant he had to go off, obviously, whilst they're attacking this. So it was. Oh, hang on a minute. So they scored from that. But then, let's say, to go down the other end, I mean, they basically Tottenham gifted you the fourth, which was.
Guys, let's hold the football talk at the moment. Leigh Wiltshire is sat here with top two, and they're in.
I've got to avoid an 8. Gonna have to avoid an 8. The way I've been running, you know what this is going to be?
Oh, it's going to be a squeeze.
Oh, we're okay. We're okay.
God. Sweet.
We're okay. Double up, much needed double up. So so it's but then what happened is your fourth goal went in, and Klopp went running down the touchline to the fourth official, screamed in his face, basically.
Why? I don't pretend to know why.
And he got booked for it, but it was a bizarre thing to do. I don't quite know why or
it's got to be
what happened.
I know he came out after the game and he said something about Tierney, the ref. So
he's probably going to get himself into some bother for that. I think he's probably going to get himself into a bit of bother. Apparently, it was something that Tierney said when he booked him. But to be honest, if you saw it, he ran down and pretty much it was right up like this.
Yeah,
in the fourth official's face, and bawled at him about something. And I'm thinking, I don't think he'd done a huge amount wrong. But anyway,
yeah. Well, anyway, look, very happy with the 3 points, but equally happy to see you double up. So just bring us all up to speed here. This is it's a World Series of Poker qualifier.
So it's the cheapest satellite you can win. GGPoker $12,000 package. So there's two.
This is the 54 buck one.
Yeah, it's the 54 buck one. They run 2 of them on a Sunday night. There's 2 packages guaranteed in each of them. So you can satellite in from like $6 into this if you want to, or pay the $54 and buy in direct. So it is pretty much the cheapest way you could win direct to win a package. So there's 2 up for grabs at the moment. There are currently how long have we got left on this late reg? 13 minutes left of late reg. There are currently 112 players remaining in this, or the 252. It's currently overlaying by $11,500 of the $24,000 guaranteed. So it is ridiculously good value to play. You've got to run pretty damn good, mind you, because you're probably going to need to. There's 2 packages up for grabs. It'll probably get to 300 runners by the time late reg finishes. So you've got to. You're a 1 in 150. It's not anything. Easy. You're going to have to run pretty golden to win one of these packages, but it's a good way on a Sunday night if you fancy giving it a go.
I love it. I mean, I really hope we can sort of focus in on this a little over the next few weeks, because there's got to be real potential we could get some APATers to Vegas on the back of.
Yeah, I thought Chris Beam was going to be our first. I really did. He was having a great run, spinning up his $15 ticket. As I say, he's in this as well. Chris's table. Let me go over to Chris's table for you there. He's got 53, nearly 54 bigs at the moment, so he's in a much better position than my 14 bigs. So in good place at the moment. Actually, Chris is probably where is he? He's about 20th at the moment of the 112 that remain. So he's in a good place at the moment. Long way to go.
Do we have any idea what the ETA on a result is in this?
I didn't spot on that. I'd imagine there's probably a good couple of hours play in this, I would imagine.
Might run a bit late for us. But I mean, if any of you guys,
we'll have a look. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Now, really interesting comment from Mr. Lawler. Klopp picked up an injury. That wasn't it. This was it. All in the swipe. So, Leigh, this all in the swipe saying it really came out of our welcome event on Thursday night, where you had a fortunate win with
very fortunate
against Ace Queen.
Yeah, it was short against. It was against Sean Snell, wasn't it? If I remember rightly. So
a little bit fortunate, and you topped all of that off by saying it's all in the swipe or whatever.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say what a great event that was. Our first event on GG with over 300 runners take part. The general atmosphere of it seemed to be very good from everything that we're seeing in the chat box, from the little comments that I could see happening on the table as the game played out. And of course, a lot of happy sort of players at the end of it. 100 of you, Simon accepted, walked away with a T-shirt, and then there was a lot of road to Vegas satellite entries and cash to be had as well. So it seemed to be a real success. I'm just going to play. It takes us about 60 seconds or so. Just the final couple of hands when one Mr. Fandango and one LFC.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec.
Well, look at
I'm
this.
going to be all in here with these queens. Let's hope we're not up against aces or kings. Here we go. That'll do. We'll take our chances here. Oh, we like that. Got to avoid a jack. That's how you avoid a jack, folks.
Boom. That's the way to do it, folks. That is the way to do it. So look, here are the last couple of hands of that tournament from Thursday night. Great success. We're really, really happy just to bring back a couple of memories.
So Gary's in the chat, as says, just popped up there saying buzzing. Well, as you should be, Gary. $5 entry, $220 with the tournament dollars to use on GG, say, plus your ticket and your T-shirt. It's all in and a call. It's ace-3 against ace-king, ace-3 at risk. It's going to have to be a diamond or a 3.
No diamond, it's red, so it's just the 3.
It's red. It's the 3.
Oh! It's not an 8. It's not an 8.
It's the 3.
Saved it. Wow.
Goodness me. And Carl, well, he's dished out a little bit tonight. Carl along the way. He's also taken a bit as well. So that is the roller coaster that is tournament poker, I suppose.
Wow.
Yeah, that is pretty brutal. I mean, the guys are playing, so they've locked up $300 for second place. So they're playing for about another just over $100 for first here. So worth.
It's quite a flat payout structure then.
Yeah. So it's nicely done. We'll see how quickly, because I think Carl's going to continue the aggression here to try and get this stack back. LFC raise it up a bit. Carl's made the call. Continuing, and Carl gets out the way, but Carl's got 12 bigs left now. So
yeah, I'll be getting it. Best chance.
Yeah, it's a 4-1 chip lead for LFC 77. Carl gets it in, just waiting for the right hand to make a call, and it's going to be this one. King 6 for Carl, ace 8 for LFC. Needs to avoid a king or a 6. Only a king or a 6. And that's going to be that. I think that is going to be that. So Fandango APAT, which we know is Carl Pilgrim. Well done to you. You pick up $300 plus your ticket, plus your T-shirt. How good is that? But our winner for tonight, our first event on GGPoker, is LFC 77. We don't know who that is. We'll find out, I'm sure.
We haven't found out yet, but well done.
Oh, we have found out. We have found out. I can put a name on that because I had a Facebook message during the week on Friday, and so on Facebook he's Chop Harris. So he's on Facebook. So dropped me a message this week. So well done to you, Chop. I guess is it. So
well, I'm guessing Chop Harris has to be a Chelsea fan, right? Ron Chopper Harris.
Well, but it's strange to have LFC 77. I think I'm pretty sure he's a Liverpool fan. So yeah, that's
really strange. But you're absolutely right. He's not going to be a Chelsea fan if he's got LFC on his. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But so got a message. So all good. And was absolutely chuffed to bits to pick up the win. Really enjoyed it, and was working out how to spend the $T. So
Yeah, so great tournament. Off to a good start here, Leigh. I mean, what's your first views of GG, Tony? I mean, what do you like or dislike about the software and the schedule of events? Particularly with, if you like, the next couple of weeks in mind.
Yeah, well, I literally only joined GG because of APAT, so usually playing on Party and Stars. I'm still in a party comp now, the only one for today. The only thing I did cash on GG today, because when I heard Leigh mentioned it on stream the other day, he said there's $1 million guaranteed tournament with a $5 buy, and I thought I'd misheard. But no, he's right.
No, there is, yeah.
I've managed to qualify for the day 2 of that, which is next Monday.
Brilliant.
And I see what they do. So it's $5, 6% get through, but then you can enter as many times. And
yeah, they're adding
together.
The stacks up, aren't they? Yeah, which is is unusual, but they are for this one. They're adding the stacks up,
which is fair enough because it's $1 million mystery bounty with a $5 buy-in. So that I'm excited about. I'm going to try and sort of add, because I've only got a 22 big blind stack on that. So I think when I looked, the chip leader was 300 and something. So they've clearly, shelling loads of bullets on that. So yeah, that is incredible, to be honest. I like the software, the swiping at the end. It's good when you hit. I've drilled 2 out on it. But then I also had the 2 out back again when I did it. So it's good when you hit. I actually really like the software.
I've been beaten up this weekend. I've had a good go at some of the Vegas satellites, and I genuinely feel like it's been pretty brutal. Not enjoyable. It got to a point yesterday. You'll have obviously, you see, I've been playing a bit, Tony. So you see, obviously, so when you're all in, it shows you what your opponent needs to hit, and if after the flop they're on it'll say runner, and so okay, you're in a good spot here. I got to the point yesterday that even when it told me my opponent was drawing dead, I still thought they were going to get there. It kind of had got to that point, which is the point where I just went, I need to take a break. This is not healthy. Yeah, so we'll take a break and come back to it the following day and see whether anything's changed. But yeah, it got quite brutal yesterday. But of course, the trouble is, you remember, as we've always said, all the years I've been playing poker, you remember your bad beats again. You don't remember the ones you dish out, do you? Yeah, they're quickly forgotten. So
it was pocket 5s all in against queens earlier on today. And then I drilled the 5 with the flick. So
nice. Yeah.
So guys, obviously this World Festival kicks off in earnest tomorrow. I guess there's been action over the weekend, but $200 million in prize money, lots of different entry points to get into it. I mean, that's an insane scale of festival that every poker player can take some form of swing at, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's 4 different levels of buy-in. So pretty much there is absolutely something for everybody. Obviously, there's the nosebleed levels as well. But as Tony was saying, you can the kind of for recreational poker players, there's plenty to play with actually pretty decent guarantees. I mean, the prize pools and some of the stuff is insane. As we said, we've already mentioned about the $1 million one for $5, but plenty of satellite opportunities as well. And if you're prepared to to put a little bit of time and effort in, you'll be able to get yourself into some really nice comps, I think, with some decent payouts.
Oh, great. Just moving slightly to one side, the high stakes poker has been a little bit in the news over the last few days. I haven't seen the episode myself, but the most recent episode, which sort of I think ran on Thursday night from memory, sort of at the same time as the APAT event was ongoing. Apparently it was quite controversial. Apparently it was quite trashy, or it just didn't meet the sort of the general perceived standards of high stakes poker, which is seen as top tier poker viewing. Have either of you guys heard anything about that? Have you seen any of the content from it? Do you have any opinion on it?
Yeah, I only saw the clip of is it Airball when he stacked Berkey, and I can see why people got annoyed, because it was a massive hand playing out, and then there was just loads of mundane chatter going on in the background. That's the only bit I've seen. I have to admit, I haven't seen the rest of it. So,
but did they not line it up? They picked the line up there to cause or for some controversy and for some clash. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you that question, Leigh. Right, because you've been involved in producing some nice quality poker content. High stakes poker, I think, has earned a reputation over the years of being a really high quality production that showcases some of the greats in the game, going back to the early days where the likes of Gus Hansen and Doyle Bronson and, sort of all of these legendary poker players were taking part. And, certainly a big part of that was about some of the scale of the pots. And I guess we're seeing some big pots in other poker productions now. But is he right to take a property of that, position and start to overlayer it with a lot of this sort of cheaper, controversy-based poker content that we've seen a lot of, particularly in the last 12 months? Is it right to do that?
Basically dragging a poker Twitter into onto the tables, isn't it? Really, normally most of that stuff.
Aren't there lots of other things like the Hustler stream, and aren't there lots of other sort of productions that are very well positioned to do that? Why would? But I guess the thing with
these streams are that the what are you tuning in to watch? If you're just tuning in to watch 6 or 8 people sat around a poker table playing some cards face up and going, oh, look how tactically they played that or strategically they played that or whatever. That's not what people are wanting to tune in to watch. They're wanting to see the chat and the needle and whatever it might be. That's the whole point. It's the characters that actually make poker. If it's just 6 or 8 robots sat around playing perfect poker and we're discussing, checking up the kind of the lookup sheets as to whether they've done this right, done that right on the tables, well, yeah, it's not entertainment, is it? In which case, why bother doing it?
Yeah, but high stakes poker was never about the if you like the top internet pros, right? It was never about the statistical approach to poker. It was very much about an authentic high stakes Binny's room style poker game, right? That's
lots are doing that now, though, Des. It's not. This is the problem. It's a lot easier to do that. At the time, they were the only ones doing it, so it was kind of a little bit okay. This is fairly unique. Now there's the kind of the biggest hand, streamed hand, seems to flick between different venues on a regular basis. It's.
So you think we'll see more of this going forward? Because there seems quite a kickback from both the community and the media this week in relation to that.
But if you think of one of the biggest live streams that we've seen in the poker world in the last few years, it was the one where they invited a load of the YouTubers along to play. So you had a couple of the pros. I think Helmuth was playing. I think he got into a lot of stick for buying in. Kind of fairly low on it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah. So, but that was that's what generated the interest. And the reality of it is that's what counts, isn't it? So it isn't so much about the stakes that are being played anymore. It's going to be about the entertainment value. And if the likes of Berkey and Airball have got needle, and playing heads up games against each other, and then they bring them both onto a high stakes table and they're going to play there as well streamed. It's all about the numbers, isn't it? It's all about eyeballs and who's viewing. So
it's all about the viewers, isn't it? That's what.
Yeah. Well, there we go, guys. We're just going to have to wait and see how that develops going forward. But certainly there was quite a lot of talk about it over the last couple of days. Now, you're quite right, guys, right? Those talking about it in the media or, in whatever sort of niche section of poker that have come out this week are not necessarily thinking about the numbers, right? They're thinking about their own thing. I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment. But it is something.
Was Rob Young in that one as well?
So I think Rob is scheduled to be involved.
No, he was. He was out there for a. Was he? Yeah, no, he was because I saw him put a tweet up about he'd recorded one and then had to leave it a little bit early because he had to get a flight back home. But he'd been out there for a week, so I'm pretty sure that was him. He was in that one as well at some point. Yeah, okay. It definitely was. I think. Yeah. You were nodding, Tony. So you did. Yeah, is that?
Yeah, the clip I saw, Rob Young was there.
Yeah. Okay.
Background.
Yeah. So that's definitely the thing. And of course, we're getting to the point now. We're 30th of April now. We're pretty much a month away from the WSOP kicking off as well. So I mean, I guess at that point that some of these cash games will slow down whilst that all kind of happens. Yeah.
Oh, I'd assume so. Yeah. I mean, by all accounts, all of the promotional stuff that the pros do, they pretty much try and duck out of for the series, particularly if they're going to have a big session, if they're going to be playing for 2.5 months, you won't get them doing interviews, you won't get them doing sort of, side podcasts and stuff like that. So I don't know what happens with the Berkey airball style game, whether that continues on through. But I think a lot of the other promotional stuff will just get put to one side as the world of poker focuses in on the World Series of Poker, and I, for one, cannot wait.
Oh, see, now how does Ace Deuce get its ace? I mean, what's that all about? Oh. Honestly, what's that all about? Blind on blind. That's disgusting. Really is, honestly.
Wrong colour.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Unlucky, Leigh.
Down to 8 bigs. We were sitting nice. We were about 20. We were about 20th of the 109 that were remaining. So we were actually looking in good spot. But we're going to have to build it back up again now. Unfortunately, late reg has shut in this. So basically, there were 2 packages guaranteed, $24,000 guaranteed. The overlay is $9,000. Wow. So super value nice. For anyone playing in this. I think we may have lost. Chris, I can't. His table's closed, and I can't. Just trying to see if I can see him on the lists.
So did you get in through the $15 route for this?
This is the satellites into this are $6 into $6 into $54 is the satellites in for this one. So just got Chris's table back up. He's got 14 bigs, so he's got a little bit more than me, but he's still going in it at the moment as well.
Leigh, sorry, Leigh, carry on.
No, that was kind of me just saying. So there's 104 left, so 2 packages guaranteed. So we're currently about 1 in 50, and I'm obviously going to get busy with this hand.
Busy soon, I would imagine. Leigh, we haven't discussed it, but of course the APAT Mediterranean Championship is going on in Malta as we speak, unless we've reached a conclusion, which we may have done since we went live. Our own Tom is over there. I'm assuming we're not having a live update from Tom. Leigh, is that right?
No, we were going to hope he was going to be able to, but I haven't heard from him that's going to be a possible thing. I know, obviously, we broke the record from last year, so absolutely superb. How does that happen? Really?
What's happened now?
Really? Oh, outrageous!
Ace King has been beaten by what?
Oh, we get there on the river. That's justice. We got it all in on the flop there, Des. Yeah, and then
it's all in the swipe, Leigh.
I mean, it's that would have been pretty scandalous to have lost that one. That really would have been.
So you're back in healthy again.
A little healthier to say this. Yes, so we beat the record of last year. So that was. That's absolutely superb, which it just kind of goes with where poker's going this year. Certainly, all of our events we've done so far are kind of beating the numbers from last year, and we thought we came back with kind of a pretty much a bang playing live poker last year, but it's absolutely even flying.
Even better,
as Tony will say from the London events that you played because you've played last year's and this year's. Say you couldn't have fit any more in the room on either occasion. Really, it's. Poker seems to really be is booming again, and as you say, it could just be that after lockdown, everyone's got back into it again and wants to get involved, and that seems to be the case at pretty much most events.
Yeah, they're running out of dealers, aren't they? Basically.
Yeah, it's trying to get as many people deal as. Obviously, we had Warren on the show on Thursday night, and Warren's kind of taken up a bit of dealing. As well as kind of his day job, and I know they put a lot of people through training and to try and get more dealers on board. I think if you wanted a bit of a side hustle and wanted to earn a bit of money at the moment, then you can get there. Simon is spot on. I definitely moaned that in. There is no denying that's what happened with that particular one.
I like that 99.9% of the time, Leigh comes across as being this totally calm, ultra professional guy, but put him up against a potential sort of turn beat tournament.
That's pretty brutal though. You're getting all of your chips in there, Ace King versus A6 on that flop. Yeah, you're like that. That's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I assumed it all went in pre, but on the flop.
No. Did it? Very much didn't.
Ace
very much different.
And Tony says they're down to 11 at the Coventry, 25-50. 25-50, 25-25, 25-50. Jason
25-50, yeah.
Jason Chilman's still going strong there. So good luck to Jason as we approach a final table in Coventry. That would be very, very nice. on a Sunday night, get a nice result.
That'll be decent. And again, all of those Grosvenor events are flying. Absolutely super numbers. We
didn't mention it, Leigh, but over there in Malta, and I think he may have gone, but was Dave Collins. So Newcastle Poker's Dave Collins made the final table over in Malta. So I'm not sure if you heard whether he'd gone out, Leigh. I suspect he might have done just before we went live.
Didn't hear. No, I didn't hear. So
let's hope not. Right, let's hope not. And then get a super deep run, but tremendously well done on reaching the final table in Malta, the Mediterranean Open. Over 300 players in that event as well. So big week for APAT. A huge month. As we leave April, I mean, has there ever been a bigger month for APAT, Leigh? Events in London, Dublin, Blackpool, Malta.
No, it's been pretty crazy, isn't it?
GG, it's been absolutely super.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy to say the least. Yeah, it's been a busy month, and it's going to carry on because we'll be up in Nottingham next month, and then Edinburgh, and then Coventry, and then back in Nottingham for the Worlds. So it's just not going to stop. I see aces in the chat, and that reminds me, I did load them up on Thursday night, but crikey, Thursday night was so chaotic we didn't get a chance to do anything. I've got some footy trivia. Some more Ace and McGrath trivia that we can do. I'll need to get rid of that one, and we'll bring up I'll have to look up the answers though, because I did these like about 3 or 4 days ago.
Sorry, we'll have this.
We'll work it out. Right, here we go then. Question 1. Let's see what we got then. Question 1 is who are the only 2 players to have earned 100 or more yellow cards in the English Premier League?
Joey Barton and. What do you think, Tony G?
We're looking for the 2 players that have picked up more than 100 yellow cards in the English Premier League.
Is Roy Keane up there? Is that too obvious?
No, I don't think Keno is. I'm going to have to try and remember where the answers are. Bear with me a second.
Who played a lot of games?
Well, it's more
James Milner.
Who fouled a lot? Who was a real enforcer?
James Milner is a good shout. It isn't James Milner, but a very good shout. No, not John Terry. No.
Don't know. It would have to be a 6. I would imagine it's one of those defensive midfielders. Not a Patrick Vieira.
No.
See, these were good footballers. You talk about Keane, Vieira. I mean, highly aggressive and confrontational, but super professional at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for players that have obviously, got serious number of appearances. so Vieira's shouted,
I think Brookie's got it. Got to be Gary.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary Lineker. Yeah.
Lineker. No, it's the.
Did Lineker ever play it? He retired before the I don't Dennis think Wise is a good shot, but no, Dennis Wise would have been too earlier in the Premier League. You're looking for somebody that's played a significant chunk of the Premier League.
Good evening, Fat Boy Peaches. What a great name. Love it.
Love it. Absolutely. Yeah. No one's got either of them yet, actually. And they're both two very well known. One I would say would be classed as a Premier League superstar, and another would be classed as a Premier League probably up there as most appearances kind of.
The Premier League superstar has got to be a Man United player. It's not going to be a defender. So I mean, can't be the likes of Scholes.
It's not, although Scholes knows how to put a tackle in, but it's not Scholes, no.
Yeah, it's not Scholes. No, I must admit, I mean, I could start throwing out names, but they'd just be names.
So Chris Hibbins in the chat, I'll just put it again. So Chris, the question was, who are the only 2 players to have earned 100 or more yellow cards in the English Premier League?
Was Klopp one of them?
It was Klopp, yeah. He's catching them up after today's efforts, yeah. But
Simon is saying, is it one G Neville?
No, it's not. It's not Gary Neville. He didn't get booked that often, to be honest. Stuart Pearce is a good shout, but I think Pearcey would have been a bit early because I don't think he would have played. I think both of these players probably only started their careers in the Premier League, or one of them might have played the odd season before, but I think pretty much.
Jamie Carragher?
No, not Jamie Carragher. So one of them was a Man United player, not the only club he played for in the Premier League.
Oh,
but
Ince.
No, not Ince. No.
Rio Ferdinand.
No.
Was none of those class of 92 guys. Not Dennis Irwin. Not Neville. Not Brian Robson, obviously way too early, if at all. Chris says Gary Speed.
No, not Gary Speed. But you see, so the Gary Speed was a great shot, as James Milner was for the type of player you're looking for one of them.
Chris says Vidic.
No, not Vidic. No, would never have played nowhere near. Who? Sorry, Wayne Rooney. Frank Bailey.
Really?
Take a bow, Frank Bailey. Take a bow. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Wayne Rooney, yes.
Nice one, Frank.
If you think, so that's one of them. So that's the kind of what I would class as the Premier League superstar. So the other one you're looking for is a player that's played a lot of Premier League games. So the likes in the same vein as your Milners and your maybe your Gary Speeds, that kind of
Barry.
Gareth Barry. There we go.
Show.
There we go.
He played all the games. Good
Very good indeed. Very good indeed. So they're the two, apparently. Yeah, they are the two that have done 100+ yellow. I mean, if you think Rooney, he did pick. Oh, he probably was picking up, close to 10 bookings a season, between 5 and 10 for a long number of seasons, wasn't he? So
good point. And very helpfully, Simon comes in right now with Rooney.
There we go.
That's not going to work, Simon. That is not going to work.
You can have a point for that one. Right then, let's do question 2.
Oh,
question
hold on. There's a whole other layer to this one. No one has mentioned the 2 on 99 either. I'm not surprised no one has mentioned the 2 on 99. We couldn't figure out who the 2 were on 100.
So what he's saying is nobody's mentioned in all the players that got mentioned. There are 2 that are on 99, and nobody's mentioned either of those at all yet. Wow.
Who are they?
Ace is going to have to tell us who they are because they're not on my crib sheet that he sent me, so I can't do anything with those. So he'll have to let us know who.
So he has said Gareth Barry at 123, Rooney at 102. So Gareth Barry by far has been the most yellow-carded player in Premier League history by far. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Wow.
But I'm not sure what his appearance. He's in the most. Has Milner just beaten him for the most appearances? Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Has he not? I thought Milner was close to that record. Is that record still? Who's got that record then? I thought that was.
I assumed it was Milner as well.
I thought it was Milner. Yeah, I thought it was. Well, maybe it isn't.
Let's see what Asa has to say on that one. But apparently Lee Boyer, a good shout, of course, and Kevin Davies, who I wouldn't have actually.
Oh, really? So they're both on 99.
They're both on 99.
No, I'm very much out. Both of them. That's for sure. I saw Kevin Davies once in his Ferrari at Southampton train station.
It's just not right, is it?
Yeah.
And in a very late controversy, as Simon says, I typed it ages ago. Lol. It's a very Klopp style controversy. This one.
Yeah, very nice.
Presuming innocence in a very aggressive way towards us. Yeah. Not happy with
that. Let's do question 2, which I've got no idea what it is till it comes up on the screen. So because I can't remember what I typed with any of these. So let's see what question 2 is. Okay, who is the all-time record goal scorer in the FA Cup since 1900?
Holy Jesus!
I already, the minute it came up, I thought I know I can remember the answer to this one. So we're good. So all-time record goal scorer in the FA Cup since 1900. Oh, Gareth Barry is still the 652 on the appearances. Then Milner's only third. Oh wow!
Milner's third, but he could potentially take a swing at that.
I can't see on there how many has Milner got then? So
614 versus 652.
614. So he's got to do. Has he got another 38 games in him?
39 games away. Yeah. Potentially. Yeah, potentially. Bit of a stretch, but if he wants to go after it, he could probably find a club.
He probably could. Oh, I'll tell you what, they're flying in with the FA Cup goal scorers straight. It's no nonsense. Chris Bean straight in there. Chris Hibbard straight in there. Tristan says, Rush. I think, it is as an absolute. I'm surprised you weren't straight in there, Des. To be honest with that one, it's.
Well, I wasn't around in the early decades mentioned there, but Rushy, of course, some fantastic cup final goals for Liverpool over the years, and
absolutely
over 350 goals in total for Liverpool. Just an insane record, super impressive. Possibly the best goal scorer I've ever seen. in Rush.
What, that you've actually seen play live?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw him play for Wales a few times, and he, you know, on the international stage with a squad that I suppose wasn't the greatest, although it was around the time we had Mark Hughes and Dean Saunders, you know, so we had a fairly decent. We actually had not bad defence and a not bad strike force. It's just the middle of the park was absolutely shocking, but you know, that's the way it goes, isn't it?
Is he better than Divock Origi, Des?
He is better than Divock Origi. Might not have scored the same memorable goals, but you know, when I was a kid supporting Liverpool, late 70s, you know, you rarely see games, right? So I used to listen to a lot of matches on the radio, so that just evoked an awful lot of, you know, just you know, crikey. You wouldn't see live games, right? The FA Cup final, you'd see match of the day, but I saw Rushy for the first time. Probably, crikey, live mid 80s. I saw Liverpool for the first time in 1980, and Rush signed for them in that season. So I saw them in that pre-season. But his goal scoring alongside Kenny Dalglish was just insane for what was a super team at the time. Does he play for Accrington Stanley?
Yeah.
Who did we have talking about Aki Stanley?
That was Ben from Thursday night, wasn't it? Right, we're going to reshove with the fours here and see whether we can isolate. And we're going to get another one. Is Windy Hippo 707 going to get involved? Hopefully not. In which case, then I'm not. Yeah, okay, it's not a bad spot. Actually, we'll see what happens.
Here we go.
Oh, okay, we've only 3 cards to avoid. And bang.
Straight in. Come on, Leigh. Squeeze it.
Swipe.
It's not going to let me swipe because I'm not at risk. So, yeah, it was nearly, wasn't it? Okay, that could have been...
is that how it works? If you're not at risk? I wondered why sometimes it wasn't working.
Yeah, it depends. I think it's whoever is kind of is at risk from the tournament gets to do that.
I have to say, for streaming a table, it's a lot of fun to have it there. Slows things down.
Yeah, it's not everyone's. It does slow things down a little bit at times with stuff, but it isn't there. Right, then we'll do question 3. Now I've got no idea what this one was. Let's have a look. And we've got who is the only player born before 1960 to score an English Premier League hat-trick?
Jesus.
Good question. This is a great question, and I get it now. I've seen it. I can remember the answer straight away. So yeah, great question. So the only player who was born before 1960 to have scored an English Premier League hat trick.
Was it Brian Dean? Was he the one who got the first one?
No, he got the first. Was it? Did he get the first ever goal, or was the first one on Sky? It's one of those, isn't it?
I think it was in the first week of games. I think.
Was it actually? Was it Sheffield United against Man United first game? Maybe it was
something like that.
I thought Teddy Sheringham had something to do with that. Was it? So Teddy Sheringham scored the first one on Sky.
Yeah, wasn't it Liverpool against Forest? Was it Liverpool against Forest?
Was that the one which was the first one that was televised? It could have that. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, televised.
But I think you're right though, Tony. I think Brian Dean definitely had the first something.
Maybe it was the first goal or something like that.
Yeah, I think it could well be. So Ian Cork is a shout from Chris Bean. Very good. Thinking of Wimbledon. It's kind of late 80s, early 90s. But no, it wasn't him.
Don't know. Honestly.
So you're looking for a player that was early part of the Premier League. So early 90s that was late on in their career that would have got a hat trick. Yeah.
Not somebody like Cantona?
No, Cantona wouldn't have been. So
would he be in his 60s now? Because he'd need to be in his 60s now, right?
Yeah, you're looking for somebody that was who was playing in. So when the Premier League was kicking off, so was already in their kind of mid 30s, kind of at that point. So you're only going to get the first few years of the Premier League, I'd imagine, probably that it could be them. We've got pocket.
Trevor Francis?
No, not Trevor Francis. No.
Mickey Quinn, the mighty Quinn.
No, not Mickey Quinn.
Or
Oh,
Leigh
we're
Chapman.
getting it in with
Leigh
this
Chapman's
hand.
too young.
Yeah, Leigh Chapman's a great shout, but it isn't Leigh Chapman. But that's a very good
In
guess
that
for lots of reasons. What are we up against? We're going to be up against an ace. We need to avoid an ace here, and probably some nines. Knowing my luck, there's the ace. There we go.
Letizia? Mr. Letizia?
No, not Letizia. No, it would have been way too good. And I think that's going to be me. I think just got me covered. What do you do there? Kings against ace nine. Not a lot you can do, unfortunately. Let's bring up Chris Bean's table because he's got 9 and a bit bigs himself on the right hand side of there. So we'll.
Oh, I like that. Clive Allen?
No, it's not Clive Allen.
Good shout.
Not Clive Allen, but a good shout.
Ace is offering a clue.
Well, I was going to offer a clue to say it's actually not a striker.
Robson?
No, not Robson. No.
Glenn Hoddle?
No, but it's a great shout, but it's not Glenn Hoddle. No.
And it can't be
Well,
Chris.
I will let Ace. If Ace has got a clue that he wants to give, he can happily give a clue.
Chris has gone ages ago, Leigh.
What's that?
Sorry, Chris busted ages ago.
Not in this one. He's not, unless it's another Beanie UK that I'm unaware of.
Ace said he was going to give exactly the same clue.
There we go. Yeah. Great minds think alike and all that. Yeah. Okay. So you're looking for so think early 90s was in a team around then that was up there fighting for the titles in the first years of the Premier League. Quite a short player, actually,
but not a striker.
But not what I class as a striker. I would say probably would be described as kind of the modern day number 10. I'd imagine. So
Simon has nailed it. Was it Peter Shilton?
Oh, there we go. I said a short player. There we go.
Does it have to have been in his goal?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good shout. Brian McClare?
No, it's not Brian McClare. No. I mean, I could give you a number. I could give you their nationality. It's not Dennis Wise. No. Do you want their nationality?
Yeah.
Should we give nationality? Yeah. They are Scottish.
Souness?
No, not Souness.
Archie Gimmel? I mean, I'm just going to go through Scottish stars of a certain age if you want.
Come on. So we go short player, Scottish, not a striker, was playing in the early 90s.
Fucking Gordon Strachan.
Yeah. There we go.
Excuse the language, folks at home.
It is that effing Gordon Strachan.
I can't believe he scored a hat-trick. How did he ever get a hat-trick?
Well, if you think so, he'd have been playing for Leeds, I'm guessing.
Yeah. They won a championship,
then,
right?
And they won the championship before the Premier League started. And I mean, they were absolutely on fire, that team, and he was banging goals in left, right, and centre for that team.
Wow.
So.
Wow. This is hard work. We haven't really impressed tonight. I have to say, it's been...
No, that definitely is the case. It's
Graham Lasso.
No, it was a great shout, Graham Lasso. Was it? I used to always have Graham Lasso in your fantasy football team back in the day. Absolutely. Players are I say players on a break. I think in. Chris is saying he did go ages ago. I've got his table up and it's still showing that they're that he has it stacked, but I think it's now got frozen. Yeah, that could be what the problem is there. So he could well be right that he went a while ago. So but there are 45 left in that one. What I'll do is let me bring up. I'll bring up the chip leaders table. Do it that way. There we go. So there's a table up. Players on a break. So yes, it's great value, this comp. Anyway, so there's 45 players left in this now. Started with 301. Say massive overlay in it, $54. So 2 of these 45 people are going to pick up a 12 grand package, which is it's nuts, really, when you think about it.
Yeah. Can you imagine going to Vegas with your main event seat, $1,000, your expenses generally, just sorted, just to focus in on that one event. Can you imagine how much fun you'd have with that assurance behind you? Would be absolutely superb. It would be lovely to see a few APATers nail some of these sats.
Yeah, and there are lots of different routes to get there. So you every day they have a daily final with at least one package guaranteed. On a Sunday, it's a little bit nuts. So today they guaranteed 15 packages in their main final. They then had 2 of these $54 ones with 2 packages guaranteed in each. They also had an $888 final that had a package guaranteed, and a $600 final that had a package guaranteed. Now, weirdly, the 888 one got 2 runners. Wow. And because it didn't get any more than that, it only paid the cash out. So you have got to be a bit careful, because there are a lot of kind of I would say pro and regs on the site that look for the value in these, and will see opportunities to late reg and make a killing. We spoke about what Dara O'Kearney did on Thursday night. Within 22 minutes, he'd won his package. It is, it's doable. So you have got to be, you do see a lot of the usual faces looking for the value when they can, but some of the overlays on some of this today has just been incredible, really.
Great value for the players.
So for the players, it's fantastic, and you just make the most of it, and whilst it's there. So
but it has to be said, Leigh, as a form of warning, that signing up at the last minute, the very, very last minute, in the hope of achieving victory within a very short few minutes, is not for everyone.
No, and I'm not.
Simon Lawler.
I mean, Simon Lawler. It doesn't work. It doesn't always get you a T-shirt. That's for sure. But it isn't necessarily always the right thing. And I know that there's some advice that that's a good way of way of doing it. I think there's a good way of doing it if there's a decent overlay. Yeah. It's worth doing it from that point of view, but it's not everybody's thing. Some people want to play from the start of a tournament, and so I mean, Tony, is Vegas somewhere you've visited or would like to visit? Or
I've been once in 2017. It was for us. Basically, most of me and my friends turned 30 that year, so we always said we're going to go to Vegas. But then it turned into a stag do as well, because one of my friends was getting married. But having been a sort of poker player, one day I went off to play at the Venetian, just cash even. But I was very hungover and it did not go well. But I'm looking at those satellites you mentioned. $6 into the 54 into a 1200.
Fantastic.
No, it's $6 into a 54. To a $12,000 package. Yeah. It's not even anything more than any more steps. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
I've never played the World Series, so I'm definitely eyeing that up. I did check the dates for it the other day, so it could potentially work if I can get it off work. So I'll maybe give them a spin this week.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's some really nice packages. Say GG are doing a lovely deal. I mean, say the I think Grosvenor are doing some stuff as well, which is worth doing. But say what GG are doing volume wise is just absolutely nuts. I think they've got something like 255, I think it is, in it at the moment that they've qualified already. And I'm presuming they'll be running these throughout May and most of June, I'd imagine. That'll be the case.
Leigh, we're kicking off tomorrow night, as I understand it. In fact, it'll be Tuesday. Is it Tuesday with the APAT?
No, it's tomorrow night. No, it is tomorrow night, Des. You are correct
about that, and maybe we'll take a clip of this video and just get it up on the website tomorrow, just to give the guys some insight to what to expect.
So basically, obviously, APAT partnering with GGPoker now, and we've got our weekly schedule up and running in the lobby. So if you go into tournaments and click on private, which is the far right-hand tab, you'll pretty much just see the APAT events in there. So we've got 2 events a day. They're at 7:05 and 8:05 each night, and we also have $2 feeders into those $10 tournaments as well. They run Monday to Friday. For the first week, we're going to get them up there. I'm going to play them next week. Tony's going to play them now because he knows that I'm playing them, so he sees there's value in that. So he's going to give those a go. So we're just going to get them running up and see how things go, and then obviously we'll get the weekly leaderboards that we're well known for, without some added value, up in the next couple of weeks as well, for you guys to win some tickets and extra bits and pieces as we go. But just to give you an idea, so on Monday we've got a straight no limit hold'em. We've also got a short deck bounty. On Tuesday there's a PLO and a short deck comp. On Wednesday it's no limit hold'em and a PLO bounty. Then on Thursday there's PLO 6 max and a no limit hold'em bounty. And then on Friday we've got PLO and another no limit hold'em bounty. So loads of different variants to play. And say $10 buy-ins, but you can satellite in for $2 each day. So if you and that runs an hour before those main comps. So if you want to just try and get in on the cheap, you can do that as well. So already I can see players already registered. So the very first one on Monday night has already got some players in there. Who've we already got? Kerry Bears in there, Rosa 1210 is in there, and Bet Game are already registered, raring to go. So that's super cool that the guys are already in it and giving it a go. But of course, for those of you that played on Thursday night, your $15 ticket should have been in. You've seen what's achievable. You can spin that up and give it a go. Sunday is probably the best day to do it if you want to do that, because the number of seats that they add a guarantee for the steps. So if you want to spin your $15 up to 140, up to a 1175 and go for the 12 grand, Sunday night is a great night to do it, because they put on like 50, 60, 70 seats guaranteed in each step to get your way through that. But if you want to try midweek as well, any night of the week you can give it a go.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leigh. So lots there for everyone, guys. Do get involved, as we tend to say here. Take part this week, and leaderboards will start to come in at our other promotions from next week and onwards. Tony, I had a question for you. You've got a lovely Italian-sounding surname. Presumably the family go back, right? Because you've been, I don't know whether you were born in England, but certainly you've got an English accent, so I assume so. But what's the family heritage? Do you go back to the old country?
Yes, it is a very tenuous link. So it's my great granddad.
No, really?
Was the one who came over from Italy. Yeah. So
wow.
Early 1800s.
Jeez, wow, that's amazing. And have you ever traced it back to Italy? I mean, do you know where the family come from?
Yeah, so actually there's a good bit of family history. So
love it.
On ancestry.com I can see where the original Giuntini came from, which was it just outside of Pisa, and then it's my great granddad. So his son, the one who moved here, he's got a load of stuff at the British Museum. So he was a famous sort of model caster. So he sculpted. He went on sort of trips, or he went to Persepolis, which was an old school Iran, and he's been in South America as well. So yes, I didn't realise until a few years ago. So I knew he was sort of famous because you Google the name and it comes up, and I knew he had something at the British Museum. But when I went there, there's loads. A whole staircase is dedicated to him, and
oh wow,
as well. I think what happened was, so they had their studio was around the corner in Covent Garden, and I think when that closed, they just donated it to the British Museum. So very fascinating. Yeah.
That's absolutely fascinating, and I love that stuff. I mean, being Irish, a lot of the Irish, of course, travelled over the the last 100, 150 years, and they're everywhere. And I think that's really interesting to be able to try and go back and just see where the family originally came from and stuff like that. But outside of that bit of history within the family, no particular love for Italy aside, presumably. I mean, that's not something you've had any attachment to.
I think I probably milked it a bit when I was younger at school. But the older I've got, so like when we played Italy in the Euros a couple of years ago, I wasn't at all cheering on for Italy in any way at all.
I
actually,
expected that.
because people often ask that, so because of the name, people sometimes start talking to me in Italian, and I only know
I don't have it.
So my granddad, who obviously is my dad's dad, who would be the most Italian out of the rest of us, he's the most English person you meet in your life. So that it didn't really get passed down, but.
Yeah, it's a great name. You got to wear that well, right? You got to wear that with pride, whether it's current or not. It doesn't matter. It's a great name. And
well, you're just following this in the footsteps within in APAT world. Obviously, Roberto Romanello used to play APAT. It's the most Italian Welshman you're likely to meet. Yeah, One thing I did I should mention when you do look for APAT and you go in that private tab at GG. For those eagle-eyed of you, you'll see another tournament in there on Thursday.
Oi oi!
It's which is May the 4th, Thursday. Des, by the way,
dear.
I don't know whether you're familiar with that, but Thursday is May the 4th. That's all I'm going to say. And you'll see in there a tournament called May the 4th Community Special. Now I'm going to annoy everybody outside of the UK again with this one, but it is what it is. It is what it is. What can I say? That is a special tournament being run by GGPoker UK. So it's not an APAT one, but however, I can help you get the password for it if you want to know it. All you need to do is you need to go in and like their Facebook page. So if you go and search for GGPoker UK on Facebook and join their Facebook page, and that's where they will be sharing the password for that. It's $1,000 being a free roll being put in there. So if you want to get involved in that one, it's GGPoker UK are running that. I think there are lots of GGPoker regions and countries all across Facebook, but it's the UK one they're doing that. So if you like their Facebook page, you'll then see their posts and bits and pieces. They'll pop the password up for that during the week if you want to get involved in that on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So I can't tell you the password at the moment, but it's a bit Star Wars based as it's May the 4th. So well worth getting involved. Just need to like their page and then you'll be able to find out what it is.
Fantastic. Very nice. Well, listen, guys, I think, given that we're not following a specific tourney at this point, I think we've probably reached a pretty natural conclusion for tonight's stream. Leigh, Tony, anything else that we have to add before we maybe dive out?
No, I think we're done. I mean, apart from the fact that obviously, we've got loads more to talk to Tony about, and he will be back on the show. I can guarantee you. That's no doubt whatsoever. We'll be getting Tony back on in future episodes. As I just saw, did that just flash up that Jason's made the final table in Coventry?
Well done to Jason.
Yeah. So, I mean, does that go down as do they just mark it down as Jay Chillmaid has made the final table, and then Joe can just claim the credit? Is that how they work? Is that how that works?
Win-win.
Yeah.
That's a win-win for all sides of the family.
That's the way I would do it. Yeah, to be honest, that's
it's a couple of Hendon mob flags for the price of one. We like that.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you, Jason, on that final table in Coventry. Hope you get the win.
Fantastic. Well, listen. With that said, a big thank you to Tony for joining us tonight. Short and sweet tonight. We'd like to have focused in more on the poker. Didn't work out tonight, but next time, right, we'll put some sort of change in the meter. We'll get to see Tony play some poker.
Tony's going to win a Vegas package. He's going to win a Vegas package. That's what he's going to do. Yeah.
You have my blessings on that one, my friend. For the rest of you guys, good luck if you start the APAT program tomorrow night, through the week, and then it will start to build as weeks go on. But I hope you guys are able to do that. Look out for that special GG community based tourney on Thursday night. As Leigh said, some good added value there too. It's just like their Facebook page. And there aside, Leigh and I are back next weekend. We will, of course, have up in the group the winner of the Mediterranean event. But from next week, we start to look forward to Dusk Till Dawn and the UK COAP. Right, so that's not far away now. So
we're obviously doing a King's Coronation special next week, Des. Yeah.
Are we, Leigh? Yeah. I'm not sure that we are.
Are we not? Are we not to some sort of regal formal? No, are we not?
Hold on. Let me just check my schedule on my.
Bring your crown.
Yeah.
No. Apparently, we're not doing that.
Oh, we're not. It's just everybody else is. So I was just, I just assumed we were jumping on the bandwagon. Are we not going to?
Well, listen, Leigh. I don't like to talk about these things because I'm a man of a certain age now. But nonetheless, my street is having a party.
Are they really? Yeah.
They are having a party. Sean gets to organise the signs for parking and all of that sort of stuff. Lots of food will come. Lots of drink will come. We know it'll be a good day. But it is, in fact, my birthday. So little do people know that, in fact, they're doing this for my birthday and not him. But anyway.
Oh, right. Okay, excellent. Well,
That's the plan. Right?
On that mode, you properly frozen. Brilliant. Well, happy birthday in advance in that case.
Dankeschön, sir. Dankeschön. So, Leigh and I will be back for whatever we call next Sunday night's show. Should be a laugh. Have a great week, guys, and we will see you then. Night, everyone.